The Be Quiet Dark Rock Slim is designed to offer a good performance for a reduced price. This cooler is also smaller and should have a better clearance than other high-end air CPU coolers such as the Be Quiet Dark Rock Pro 4. The Be Quiet Dark Rock Slim has a price of roughly $52 or euros, and for that you get an all-black heatsink with 4 copper-made heat pipes and a single 120mm fan that can be controlled through software. Let's start with the beginning. The heatsink used on the Dark Rock Slim has a single tower design and is rather thin, having a width of just 72mm. The all-black design is not just a simple paint job, as all components of the heatsink are covered by a black ceramic coating. This includes the heat pipes, fins and top metallic plate. Speaking of the top plate, it has a rather stylish linear brushed texture and a reflective Be Quiet logo placed at the center, and the heat pipes endings covered by metallic caps which are present on both sides of the cooler. This top plate makes the cooler stand out, especially when installed into your system. However, it is also a dust magnet and requires constant cleaning. There are also 2 rubber strips placed on the front side of the heatsink to provide a good and stable base for the 120mm fan to sit on, and also to dampen any vibrations that might be generated by the rotational movement of the fan. From my understanding, Be Quiet is the only company that does this with their air coolers. The 4 copper-made heat pipes are arranged in the classic U shape to offer the best possible heat transfer. Each heat pipe has an outer diameter of 6mm and makes direct contact with the base plate of the cooler. The heat pipes are also covered by a smaller heatsink that is installed above the base of the cooler. This component not only provides some degree of passive cooling, but is also an integral part of the mounting system, as it is basically the base on which the main installing beam sits on. The base of the Dark Rock Slim is manufactured from the same nickel-plated copper as the heat pipes and has a radial sunburst pattern engraved into it. The surface is smooth with barely visible marks left from the manufacturing process. It is also obvious that the only part of this entire cooler that is not covered by the black ceramic coating is the base plate. This is done to provide the best possible contact and heat transfer between the surface of the CPU and the base plate, and thus the entire cooler. The included fan is a Be Quiet unit, the Silent Wings 3 120 model, with the actual model number being BQSIW3 120x25 LF PWM. This fan has a minimum speed of 500 RPM and a maximum speed of 1500 RPM and can be, thankfully, controlled through software. Additional features of this fan include optimized surface structure on the blades to increase airflow and static pressure, and a fluid dynamic bearing system with a lifespan of up to 300,000 hours. The cable of the fan is also covered by high quality textile sleeving and has a 4-pin connector for power. The accessories are pretty basic. You get a user manual, 2 pairs of fan clips so you can install a second fan if you desire, and also you get a small tube of thermal compound and the usual components of the mounting system which are used in other Be Quiet air CPU coolers, you know, metallic backplate, braces. Also the packaging, I rarely talk about it, but in this case it's a must. Soft high quality foam pads keep the cooler safe while being shipped, and the cardboard box, while easily to scratch and damage, is made from hard cardboard that will offer decent protection. This should be the norm for all products, especially in this price range. With the cooler installed, you get to see the main advantage of using the Dark Rock Slim because it is, as they say, slim. With the fan installed, the RAM clearance is great and so can be said for the rest of the system. There is plenty of space below the cooler to access a M.2 socket. Before heading into the cooling performance, here is a noise sample of the cooler with the 120mm fan running at its maximum speed. I am doing this, as always, to give you an idea of the sound you will get with the cooler, and also because a standard decibel reading can help you identify unwanted noises such as bearing or vibration noises. The Dark Rock Slim reached a maximum recorded noise value of 33 decibels, measured at a distance of 10 cm away from the system and cooler. This makes the Be Quiet Dark Rock Slim one of the quietest CPU coolers I've ever reviewed, especially when the fan used is spinning at 1500 RPM. In addition, as you just heard, the fan used has no bearing noises, nor does it pass on the vibrations into your system. When it comes to performance, the CPU cooler testing is pretty straightforward, as it is broken down into two sections. The CPU used for all coolers is the Intel i9-9900K, which is overclocked manually to 5 GHz on all cores. The first test involves the usage of the Intel Burn Test V2 benchmark. I am using this particular software as it offers a CPU load that is often encountered in modern AAA games and workloads, and in this test the Dark Rock Slim reached a temperature of 73 degrees Celsius, with the ambient temperature held at a steady 26 degrees Celsius. However, the real test involves the FPU stability test found within the AIDA64 Extreme software. I am saying this as the FPU stability test offers a CPU load that is not realistic and will not be encountered on a daily basis anywhere, regardless of the game, workload or rendering software. This test is solely done to push each CPU cooler to its limit and beyond and get a good look at the true cooling capacity of these coolers. And in this test, the Dark Rock Slim reached a temperature of 92 degrees Celsius with the same ambient temperature of 26 degrees Celsius. While the second test temperatures were on the high side, this is no surprise as the Dark Rock Slim is, after all, a CPU cooler that is on the smaller side and should not be used for overclocking high TDP CPUs such as the 9900K. However, the CPU did not throttle even when overclocked to 5 GHz and remain at a steady temperature, a good thing to see especially for a single fan CPU cooler. The main purpose of the Dark Rock Slim is not only to have good clearance for the RAM and expansion slots, but also to provide cooling while being silent, and it does that with ease. The cooling is good and the included fan is silent, making this cooler a great choice for a gaming system that won't get too much into the overclocking aspect of the CPU. And no, the complete lack of RGB LEDs or any LEDs on this cooler is not a drawback, because at the end of the day you pay for the performance in both cooling and noise, while also having an all-black design that will match any motherboard and case combination available on the market. If you like this review, then you can perhaps consider subscribing for more, and also in the description below you will find both the Patreon and subscriber star pages of the channel in case you want to support my work directly.